What's up, guys? You're watching MuchMusic's Intimate and Interactive on TikTok Live. My name is Sade, and I'm here with singer-songwriter GAYLE.
Sup?
Song ABCDEFU is going crazy on the charts worldwide. She has over 2.5 million videos under her sound on TikTok, and she's currently on her North American tour saying F you to moms across the continent. Yeah, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling so good. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Good.
Have you ever been to Canada before?
I've never been to Canada. I've never left the States before, actually. Yes.
So is this your first time leaving the States?
Yes, it is. It is. I'm very glad it could be Canada.
What are your thoughts so far?
I love it. I mean, it's not too different from America. Like, there's some things that are like slightly different, but no, it's so cool.
Oh, that's fun. Well, you were here doing Intimate and Interactive. And with that, we have a few questions from your fans that will be coming in. We also have you singing 2 songs acoustically, which is really exciting. And a lot of the questions that we did get in from your fans are about the song ABCDEFU.
Never heard of it.
Never
Heard of that song.
Radio, don't listen to it.
No.
And I believe that that's going to be the first song, even though you don't know it, that you're going to be singing.
I'm just going to make it up as I go along.
Oh, we love that.
Yeah.
We love just like an improv moment.
Yeah.
For sure. So I believe that's the song you're going to be performing first.
Yes, it is. Yeah, let's do it.
I am making this song up on the spot. Fuck you and your mom and your sister and your job and your broke ass car and the shit you call art. Fuck you and your friends I'll never see again. Everybody but your dog, you can all fuck off. I swear I meant to mean the best when it ended. Even try to find a song when you start shit. Now you're texting all my friends, asking questions. They never even liked you in the first place. Dated a girl that I hate for the attention. She only made it 2 days, what a connection. It's like you'll do anything for my affection. You're going all about it in the worst ways. I was into you, but I'm over it now. And I was trying to be nice, but nothing's getting through, so let me spell it out. ABCDEFU and your mom and your sister and your job and your broke ass car, the shit you call art. Fuck you and your friends that I'll never see again. Everybody but your dog, you can all fuck off. No. You said you just needed space, and so I gave it. I had nothing to say, you couldn't take it. Told everyone I'm a bitch, so I became it. Always had to put yourself above me. I was into you, but I'm over it now. And I was trying to be nice, but nothing's getting through, so let me spell it out. ABCDEFU and your mom and your sister and your job and your Craigslist couch. The way your voice sounds. Fuck you and your friends that I'll never see again. Everybody but your dog, you can all fuck off. No. ABCD, fuck off. No. ABCDE, fuck you and your mom and your sister and your job and your broke ass car and the shit you call art. Fuck you and your friends I'll never see again. Everybody but your dog, you can all fuck off.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
I love that because, you know, I'm expecting it to be angry. Like, it's an angry song, but you sung it so beautifully and eloquently that I completely forgot to be mad.
That's very kind of you. Thank you.
You wrote the song, or it finished in August 2020.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Song drops August 2021.
Mm-hmm.
You go viral on TikTok, and now you're pretty much just living the dream, which we love to see. Love to see it. What's something that's surprised you about the music industry?
Oh man, something that has surprised me about the music industry. There's so much bull in it. I guess that's like the biggest thing. Or I guess there's like, when I first got into it, especially when I just first started going to Nashville and I started talking to anybody that would talk to me, a lot of like expectations and standards got put onto me that just like aren't true. It's also like what you need to look like or be to be accepted by other people, especially as like a young woman. I was told that I needed to be skinny, I needed to have clear skin, especially like being mad wasn't necessarily something I was told was accepted, especially like as a young woman. Like there was always like these expectations of like, I was always told like happy songs, people love it when a girl's happy, or love songs sell more. So, and I was like, I don't want to do that. Like, that's not what I want to be. I don't want to be this like palatable, perfect, like acceptable thing. And then I realized those expectations that were put onto me was just straight up bull. Like, that's not what the people want. You know, they want people that are actually like real or genuine, or not this like unmaintainable thing. I don't necessarily think that's like, I think people can want that, but I don't necessarily think that's what everybody wants, or I don't think you need to have that to be successful in the music industry.
And that's how you got here, right? So you did do the song that's angry, that everyone related to and connected to. So it's like you would know best, right? Like what kind of works for your fans.
I guess also like, I guess I would also know what works for kids my age, because I am my age, you know, like I can kind of have a general understanding of what a 17-year-old girl would want to see, because like I am one, you know. I just talk about the things I experience in my life, and then people have the possibility of connecting to it because it's just my life, you know.
And then when you're getting these kind of like standards put on you, or they're saying have clear skin and all this, is it at all in a subtle way, or is it kind of just straight up?
It was straight up. Like, it was straight up. At 10, I was literally told, like, you know, you chose to be in the music industry, and like you just need to be very aware of the way you eat, because like people aren't going to want to sign you if you're like overweight, or people aren't going to want to watch your videos that you make on YouTube if your skin isn't clear. And that's just like the way it is. There's always a twist too, where I was like, you know, this is to help you. This is to help you be successful. And like, you need to make sure you work out so you're not out of breath when you sing. And it's like, that's not what you mean.
And you're like 10 years old.
And I'm
like,
10.
Work out.
Yeah. And that like honestly severely affected the way that I viewed myself and the way that I viewed food at like such a young age, because I thought that's what I needed to focus on to be successful, which is like so not true.
Exactly. But obviously you didn't have to live up to all those standards. Like, people love you for who you are and how you present yourself, and it's real, and it's something that we all can connect to. So obviously now you have this huge legion of fans who support your every move and adore you and adore your music. What's surprised you about this new legion that you have behind you?
I don't know. I guess it's like, it's easier for me to understand why people don't like me than to like me. And so it's just very, very nice to feel accepted and loved, and to create like a community of like being open and willing to be vulnerable. And it's just really exciting and lovely to be able to experience that.
I totally get where you're coming from. I know a lot of people are kind of like, they focus on the bad.
Mm-hmm.
So even like in ourselves or within any situation, a lot of people are like, oh, we'll tell someone about the one bad thing that happened in our day rather than all the good things that happened.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to try to focus on the positive, but I'm glad that you're kind of steering in that direction.
Yeah.
Do you have a name for your fans at all? Like Rihanna has the Army, or the Bay Hive for Beyonce. Do you have a name for your fans?
Am I allowed to curse? Is that a thing?
Go for it.
Okay, sick. So here's the thing. This is not an official name, but I really want to call them the just so I can go on stage and be like, what's up?
Just every time.
Just for that moment. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I was thinking something more tame, like nightingales.
Nah,
I was like,
no,
I like
that's
that.
good. No, that's good. No, I like.
Okay, I like that too. Honestly, it blew mine out the water. So
No.
Okay, so speaking of your fans, we do have some questions from your fans. I spoke to them at your show. So if we can get the first question in.
Yes. Oh, we get a video.
We get a video.
We get a video.
Yes. So these are from the guys that were hyping up the entire show.
Yeah.
Andrew, Kobe, and Josh.
We want to know, what does it feel like to have a song blow up so big like it did on TikTok in such a short amount of time? Yeah. You're amazing.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Cute.
What does it feel like? It's weird because, like, I think parts of me are just in straight up denial because it's been something I've been working I mean, I've been doing music since I was 7. I went to Nashville at 10. I moved there when I was 12. And so I've just been doing this for as long as I can remember and having like no results, especially from like maybe sometimes like one industry person was like, you don't suck. And I was like, thanks. But like from like people, especially that weren't in the music industry, like I had never gotten really like a positive reaction like that. And so I think it's like my brain just went to, no, that didn't happen. There's no way. No.
Right.
No. I'm like starting to kind of accept it a little bit. Like I can still barely call ABC a hit song or even like I've yet to be like, it went viral on TikTok. Like I can't, no, like I feel like I'm lying or feel like I don't deserve to say it. I'm working on it. But I guess it just feels so exciting, and like I absolutely love performing, and it's especially after not being able to do live performances for almost 2 years, like it's such a privilege and an honor to be able to be on tour, and I would not be doing the shows and the places that I'm going without that song doing what it did. And I'm very grateful for the people that have listened to it. I'm still not accepting the achievements that song has done, but I'm aware of what it has done for me, if that makes sense, and I'm very like grateful for that.
I love to hear that. And I know it was really tough for you even to, like, as you said, to accept that. And the song didn't do well for a while. Like you were still trying to like push it out there.
Yeah.
So what kept you going, or kept you like pushing the song and wanting to make it work?
I guess it was my stubbornness, or it was also like just the thought of like, just keep going, you know, like it's always just like, just do it again. One thing that's so great about TikTok, especially when there's like nobody necessarily following you or looking at you, is you can literally just throw at a wall. Like you can try any type of video or any type of thing over and over and over again until something maybe just might work. And I was posting every like 3 to 4 days, or at least trying my best to do every day. And that just kind of kept me going of like, okay, let's just keep going. Let's just keep trying. It honestly wasn't even anything that like I personally did. Like I would like make a video with ABC, and it did like well. I remember a video of mine got like 1 million views a couple weeks before ABC came out, and that was like the most a video of mine has ever done, but it didn't make anybody want to use the audio of ABC. It's funny, like there's no video of me being like, use this audio or do this. I asked a couple people to make videos, but even the videos they made, it didn't really like, it didn't get it to like 2 million people making a video. People just started using the audio. Like there's, you know, I tried to push it. I tried to ask people, and it didn't do anything. And then people just started using it, which is literally so mind blowing to me. I couldn't tell you what was like the thing that made one person want to do it and make somebody else and somebody like to keep that momentum going, because it eventually started doing like 10,000 videos a day. And like, I could not tell you what like started that. But it's really, really exciting. And I guess, yeah, my stubbornness is kind of what kept me going, because I was like, oh, I'll be damned.
Right.
You know?
You hear that, guys? Stubbornness is key to success.
It helps you out sometimes.
We'd love to see that. Also, now that you've mentioned it, now I'm curious about what your zodiac sign is.
Ooh,
just want to throw that in there.
I'm a Gemini.
Ooh.
Yeah, I feel like
that explains the hair.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, I feel pretty aligned with. I feel like there's some Gemini hate that's out there, and I get it.
Oh, for sure. I see it all over TikTok.
My whole family's a Gemini. My mom's a Gemini. My brother's a Gemini. I'm a Gemini. My best friend's a Gemini. My dog's a Gemini. Everybody. Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of energy.
It's all
One
in
family.
June. Literally, we have so many birthdays.
Do
All
you
the
just have
birthday
like a
cakes.
combined birthday at all?
No, we coordinate cakes. Like who gets a cookie
Ooh,
cake, who gets
right.
cupcakes, who gets an ice cream cake. Like we got it down.
Damn. And
Yeah.
then so that whole month, you guys are just like
So much
racking it on the cake so much.
Yeah.
So you did drop a project last month.
I
A
did.
Study of the Human Experience, Volume 1.
Yes.
Can you explain what human experience you're referencing in this project?
See, for me, it's like, I feel like it's just the human experience that we're all living because we all have our own. I feel like we all have a right to tell our own story because every single experience that we have is unique to us. Like every single person is living the human experience and it's unique to them. But then there's also general things that I feel like we all go through. And so I feel like for me, it was like targeting my specific experiences while also talking about the possibility of like general things that we all go through. And even like for me personally, like it's just from growing up, like I'm not claiming to know anything about the human experience. It's just the things that I've taken from my human experience. And also like it's a collaborative project. So everybody who collaborated on the project with me put parts of themselves into the music as well.
Right.
And for me, like this project, one, like it's just talking about my perspective on like my generation, kind of making fun of the way people make fun of us, of Gen Z. And even just like for me growing up, I realized like sexual and platonic and romantic feelings were something that was really hard to differentiate for me, especially because I never really had a good example of love and what love looked like or how I should properly be treated. And so then people didn't particularly treat me well, and I didn't even know that they weren't treating me well because I just never had a good example of what that was supposed to look like. And then like I also just kind of went into relationship and not particularly being alone for some time. And then I also like didn't necessarily have the most acceptance for like my feelings and specifically like negative feelings. And like I didn't know if I chose to not feel them, I was still holding on to them. I just wasn't processing them. And like that was like a really big realization for me. And also just like love. Like I love people so much. Like even my friends, I love them to death and would do anything for them. And so it's just kind of talking like about the intensities of the emotions that I feel as well.
So it's like you weren't able to express these feelings for so long. You just like weren't able to understand them. So kind of through experience and through this project or through music, you're able to kind of work through them
And just like acknowledge them. Like
Yeah.
even like with ABC, I didn't let myself feel angry. So when I did, it came out in a very intense way of like, I hate your mom, your sister, your job, your car, like everything
Everyone
to do with
involved.
you. But then with You're Just Horny, I got mad and then I told them about it. Like,
Right.
you don't want to be friends with me. You're just horny. You know, like
Exactly.
I was able to like learn a lesson from ABC and that person I wrote that song about, and then able to kind of like move along. I still get angry, but I'm at least able to like talk about it more, so it comes out in less intense ways. And even there's another song in there, Kiddie Pool, and I wrote that song about the same person I wrote ABC about, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
I wrote Kiddie Pool when I was 15 and I wrote ABC when I was 16, and it was because like I just loved them so much. That's how I was able to get that angry at them, because I just loved them so. And it was like that stupid like young kid love where you're just like, I love you.
Yeah.
I don't really know what that means, but I feel that towards
Yeah.
you.
But when you're younger, I feel like you pour so much more into relationships or so much more love into things because you don't know what it's like.
You don't
to
know
be
you
hurt.
have to
Yeah.
hold back,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
And like, of course, you can't like hate someone or like feel that strongly unless you like really love them. Yeah.
That's very true.
So you start off the project with Love Starved.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned earlier, it kind of does touch on the image of women in society, or like a certain image that women have to uphold in order to be seen a certain way. So you mentioned things like a tiny girl in a dress, trophy for his friends. And again, with ABCDEFU, you're saying it's okay to be angry, like you're allowed to have these feelings. So how has that standard impacted you growing up?
Oh gosh. I mean, I feel like it affected like every part of my being. I'm originally from Texas, and I didn't particularly have it in my family, but just like culturally in like this society, it was very just like prim and proper. And I don't know, like I didn't cut my hair for literally years. Like I always had like the long brown hair. I was always like, yes, ma'am. No, sir. And it's not that there's anything wrong with that. I just like was always feeling the need to hold back. And I guess I also had this image in my head of what like a girlfriend and boyfriend were supposed to be and what the girlfriend was to the boyfriend. And like,
Okay.
I just like got into this relationship that was very like, always called me honey, shushed me a lot, which was like, and like just little things where like I just never told them anything about myself because I felt like I was unacceptable, or like the things I was feeling was like too much for them to be able to handle. Or I would just like completely trauma dump on somebody within like the first like 12 hours of us dating and be like, here's everything I've ever felt ever. And then they're just like, whoa, you know,
Like, that was a lot.
That was a lot,
Yeah.
you know. I like to think I've kind of learned a lot from that. But yeah, I mean, I also like, I literally never cursed. I never cursed in my songs. I never talked about honestly anything. I had such a struggle with my body, and I know so many kids around me too, even with sex. And like what I was told what sex was supposed to be with me was actually completely different from what I was actually feeling. And I remember too, like seeing my friends, like even just like the concept of sex, and when we learned about it, and even just starting to like feel attraction towards people and like feel like when it started just being more like, oh, you're cute, it's like, oh, you're hot, you know, like that. And there's a switch. And like even just the difference between like my brother, if he had sex at a young age, he would get the high five, and like I would be the whore, honestly, you know.
Double standard.
The double standard. And even just like I started getting older and I wanted to wear like smaller clothing, and I liked shorts and I like crop tops, and like I don't even like my body, but I liked tighter clothes. Like I literally don't know what it was, but that was something that I personally felt more comfortable in. And even the stuff I started wearing as a teenager, like people would straight up judge me for that.
It's hot also.
Sometimes it's just hot, and you just want to wear a tank top. Like literally, it's not that big. Or even just like showing a bralette under a tank top.
Scandalous.
Oh, showing your shoulders.
Oh no,
not the
An
shoulders
ankle or anything like above the knees.
Oh,
God forbid.
crazy. And like, yeah, it was just one of those things where like not allowing yourself to be angry. And even with me, like I was always told like wait till marriage, and that just never made sense to me, for me personally. And also like the way it was like the way somebody else cares about who gets in between your legs, like that's important to me, what happens with your body. And it's like, I don't know about that one, you know. And like I even saw like my friends at a young like lose their virginity and like literally have a crisis because they felt like something was like taken away from them when they shouldn't have felt that way. Or even like another friend of mine like didn't feel different at all, and that made them have that crisis, you know, because it was told that it was something so important when it doesn't have to be. If you choose for it to be specifically important for you, that's one thing, but when other people tell you what it's supposed to be, that's something different, you know. And it really affects people in ways that it doesn't have to be that important.
I totally get where you're coming from, because even when you see things in media, you only see them a certain way. And even when you see like, oh, say it's like the man losing his virginity, it's always, yeah, high five, great job. But if it's a woman, it's always a really detrimental experience.
Yeah.
So you're kind of taught to think of it that way, or like not see it in like a positive light, that you're growing up
and then
learning.
I also like, for me too, something I experienced is like after I started having sex, I would get into a new relationship with somebody, and I wouldn't necessarily want to do that right away, just because that's not that I always do that now, but like that was just something I just didn't. But then that expectation was like, well, you've had sex with somebody else, so like why aren't you having sex with me right now?
Right, exactly.
Like you've already done that. So like what and you know, like that pressure as well, where I was like, whoa, like that doesn't mean also that I'm gonna just like get with anybody, you know, questions asked. Like doesn't mean that like you deserve that, or I owe you that. Like you're dating me, like this is an expectation that I have of you. And it's like, no, that doesn't equal out either, you know.
How are you unlearning those
I guess like for me, I'm very lucky because I never held on to that. Like even for me, I was like, if I loved somebody and they took my virginity, that's a lot to give somebody. I was like, that's a lot. And that was just never something that I personally like had. And then for me too, I guess I just started like not caring. Like I had this moment in my life where I like looked in the mirror and I was like, I don't know who I'm trying to please, but I'm not happy. Like I'm not content with who I am and who I'm trying to be. And I honestly also like, I used to be a really judgmental person, especially when I was like 11, 12. Like I literally thought if people wore crop tops, they were like a whore, which was so dumb. Like that's so dumb. But I had that, you know. I even had the like, I thought if you didn't know how to do makeup, you were pretty. Like I was that girl who was like, eyeshadow. Oh my god, eyeshadow. I could like never. I don't know how to do eyeliner. Like oh my god,
exactly.
I just wear like concealer or whatever. It's like no, shut the up.
Just
you know?
SPF.
Yeah. And then I guess like I had this moment where I was just like, I don't want anybody's opinions or decisions to affect what I want to do or how I personally choose to view myself. And I remember the first time I like cursed in a song because my best friend and I wrote the song, and then we went to our moms and we're like, is this okay?
Yeah, you gotta double check.
We just gotta like, please don't hurt me. Like don't yell at me. But no, they would never. But and I even remember I did the split dye originally myself, and I did it at like, it's like 2 or 3 a.m. It was like some ridiculous time at night when one's mental health is not great. And I just like, I remember I was like, would people be less like attracted to me if I did this? And then the second I thought that, I put the dye in my hair. I literally was just like, because I never wanted anybody else's view on me to affect how I personally choose to like represent or view myself. And and it's not easy. It's not an easy thing to do. And I also had really not great friends. And then once I started actually like feeling like I was being myself, and then I found people that accepted me for that, it was so much easier once I created a community of people that I was actually genuinely being myself around. Then that's when I was able to be like, oh, this is really nice. But it's not always easy, and it's a scary thing of the thought of like not being accepted by people, especially because I'm a people pleaser, and like I like it when people like me, you know. Like I'm not gonna say I don't, but it's just like, also if people are gonna like judge me, that's on them. Like that's just sad for them if they're gonna look at anybody and look at the way that they're personally choosing to live their life and take the time. Life is so short, and to judge people around you is so stupid.
And it gets really complicated, even with friends and like that whole, like what you're speaking of. And you kind of put that in a song, and it's Sleeping with My Friends.
Yes.
We love that. So I guess that's the second song you'll be performing for us today. So let's hear it.
Let's go.
I keep running into that thing.
This is going great.
This is Sleeping with My Friends. Gotta separate my sexual attraction from my loneliness. Yeah, it's a chain reaction. I know that I should go to a therapist, 'cause it keeps happening. Used to be funny, but now I stop laughing. I know that I should stop my million mistakes in a pretty little bow. Stay on tight, spend the night, we know where it's gonna go. Say we'll take it slow. Yeah, I really need to start sleeping with my friends. Romanticize everything in my head. I mess around for the weekend and never see them again. I really need to start sleeping with my friends. Always leaves me having to pretend that I mess around for the weekend and never see them. You're always ending up feeling like I'm a trophy on the top shelf. Nobody left to hold me. I know that I should stop my million mistakes in a pretty little bow. Stay on tight, spend the night, we know where it's gonna go. Say we'll take it slow. Yeah, I really need to start sleeping with my friends. Romanticize everything in my head. I mess around for the weekend and never see them again. I need to stop sleeping with my friends. Romanticize everything everything in my head. They mess around for the weekend, I never see them. Friends, yes, yeah. Friends, yes. Start sleeping with my friends. Every day to heaven to pretend that I might show up for the weekend and I see them again.
Anyways.
Awesome. Love to hear it. I love hearing the different versions because I'm so used to one way and now I'm hearing the new way and I'm like falling in love with the song all over again.
Oh my God, thank you very much.
So we are going to take another question, another video question from one of your fans. If we can get the iPad going.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Thank you. So this one is from Liam.
Hey, my name's Liam, and I want to know, Gayle, since writing Sleeping With My Friends, have you indeed stopped sleeping with your friends?
Ooh. Can we get an honest answer from you there? Is that nervous laughter I hear?
That's a very, very good question that I should very much so have prepared. Actually, like a little bit.
A little bit.
It's more like I've stopped like sleeping with like long-term friends. There might be somebody or people in my life that, you know, we've never been like we might be friends, but we've never been like friends, and then it went to something different.
Right.
You know, there's always little something there, and like we both like knew that, and that was talked about. It was never like, there's a difference in my head between like a friends with benefits situation and then sleeping with a friend. Like it's one thing when you like meet somebody and you kind of have a sexual connection, but you're not particularly in a place to date and you just kind of want to have some fun for a little bit. But specifically with like the sleeping with my friends, like I was friends with somebody for 5 years. Right. And then I slept with them and it was so stupid. Right. And like that was like really a moment where I was like, you know, like I definitely stopped doing that because I also realized that like really can affect your friendship, and sometimes it cannot. You know, this person kind of wanted to sleep with me the whole time of our friendship, and I didn't know that. So after they got what they wanted, they started treating me differently, and I didn't know that that's what they wanted for a minute. And so like when they started treating me differently, I just thought it was because we slept together. Right. But it was just because they wanted that from me the whole time. And so when they got it, they weren't feeling the need to maintain like their lies or their like, they were just very like nice, and they just weren't as nice anymore, and they weren't as outgoing and like all of those things. But I thought that was like me, and I thought it was what we did, but it really wasn't, you know? And then other things too. It just like a lot of those things combined made me be like, damn. But the answer is no or yes, and no, not a no either. My answer is I'm living in the in-between, and I'm just going to ignore it and see how it goes.
All right. We're just like in a bit of a gray area here.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, we're in between two worlds, just like your hair.
Exactly.
Awesome. So we have another question from a fan.
Yes.
This is at Gayle, I love you. Her name is Aldrin. So she asked, what is your favorite song on your latest EP? By the way, love you, Gayle. Mine's Kiddie Pool.
Oh, I think mine's Kiddie Pool, actually.
Really? How come?
I mean, it switches a lot, to be fair. Like, even Z, like, Easy, like, I love that song, and I love what Blue the Tiger and Upsall did to it. I think they're such badasses, and it's such an honor to be able to, like, collaborate with them on a song of mine. I really love Kiddie Pool because I wrote it I wrote that song before. I'm pretty sure I wrote the song before I wrote any other song on the project. It was either Kiddie Pool or Easy or Z, because I wrote that when I was both those songs when I was 15. But it was so cute because Kiddie Pool originally was like a pitch song, and I wrote it for Post Malone.
Oh, really?
It was like, it was not on guitar. It was like this like heavy 808 like type vibe, and it was a lot faster. Ooh. And then we wrote the chorus, and then we slowed it down, and then we put it on guitar. And it was such a fun song to write. Like, I wrote that song with some of my favorite people to make music with, and it was such a lovely experience to write that song. And I remember when I wrote it, I was so excited to be able to perform it, but then 2020 happened and I wasn't able to. But now I'm able to perform it, and I was able to put it out, and it was such a joy and honor to get to do that.
Oh, that's awesome. I love to hear that. I also love the name too. I'm just like, it just sounds so fun.
Thank you. I wanted to write a song called Swimming Pool, but then I was like, that somebody did that.
Done.
Yeah, I was dating somebody at the time when literally I told them, I was like, I want to write a song called Swimming Pool, and they're like, that's been done before. And then I was like, fine.
Just like switch it up a little bit.
Kiddie Pool.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Thank you so much, Gayle, for talking to me today. Thanks everybody for watching. You're watching MuchMusic's Intimate and Interactive on TikTok Live. So I do have a gift for you.
You have a gift.
I do. From artist to artist. I can't sing for the life of me, but I do illustrations.
Oh.
So if we could have someone bring that in.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. Cute. Here you go.
Oh
so
my
it's
gosh.
an illustration of you giving the middle finger with your lyrics in the background.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, and you got the pants and everything.
Yeah. It's really funny because as I was writing out the lyrics in the back, it actually filled up the page as soon as it said shit you call art. And I'm like, oh, and it's art. Perfect.
It is art. Oh my God, I love this.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I actually designed these pants. Like,
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh,
like, I
sick.
put the plaid and I embroidered the pants and all of that. So
Oh, love it.
thank you. This is so beautiful. Thank you so much for this.
You're welcome.
Wow.
And thank you so much for being here today, Gayle.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. A Study of a Human Experience is now on all streaming platforms. And until next time, much love.
Much love.